right. So this checkpoint essentially is final product level of work. Though you can use this kind of technique in your final product, this cutting, this checkpoint can't be your final product. All right, it's going to require more work out of you for this checkpoint, but if you were to do something similar for your final product, it would have to be an entire, different composition, an entirely new photo. So in this video, I'm just going to show you, this will be video 1 of 3 or 2, not sure which, but I'm just going to show you how to do the cutting and then how to add the purple mass kind of chunks there. And in another video 2, I'll go over how to create these grooves like this, the lights, and then yeah, in a third video, I'll show you how to do this halo of text, as well as the step and repeat of the grid down here. Alright, so bring the bust in from the resources, and the first thing we're going to do is just get his head. So let's get our selection, select subject, mask him out, zoom in, get your lasso tool, and then follow along down here at the beard to cut the rest of it out. Alright, so if black is your background, Command Delete. If it's in the foreground, it's Alt Option Delete, and that'll fill that with black. And now we can go ahead and apply this mask. Right click on the mask, apply the mask. Let's extend our canvas or artboard size here to give us a little bit more of a compositional area to work with. So go to your crop tool and just extend it out like so. Let's get the size of the head we want basically. Command T, hold your Alt or Option, make it a little bit bigger. Hit Enter. Let's fill in our background here with our color. You can do a gradient. Choose what gradient you want. I think this time I'll do black and purple. I'm going to have it a little bit darker in the background. So if you ever select, so say you select your colors here, right? And you're wanting your gradient to go from black to purple, but up here it shows a gradient map or something else. How do I get my black to purple? Just click on the gradient like so, and then come up to your basics folder, and it's going to be that first one right there. And click on it, and now you got your black to purple. Hold my shift button and drag it down. Alright, so now we're going to do our cuts. And I'm going to do the cuts the same way that I have them here. So we're going to cut. And when you're doing your cuts, notice here, right, I have them kind of jagged, right? And they swoop down, and there's dips and indentions. Make sure to do that with your cut. So what you don't want to do is just this single line like that, because we want to be able to do these little grooves in here, and it's going to look better and more fitting if we match kind of these grooves as we make them to our cut positioning here. It'll, even if they're not perfect, it'll make more sense to the eye and look like it was meant to be. All right, so do my first cut, and you don't want to go in an arch. You want to go kind of I think it's concave, yeah, kind of down a lot. Do these little dips like that. There's the first cut. Command X, Command V, and then press V on your keyboard to bring it back down. And then the next cut, I think I'll do this nose right underneath the eyes. Command X. Oh, make sure you're on the right layer. Command X, Command V. Drag it down. And then this part of the head, I'm going to bring it to the top. Move it up a little bit. I'm going to cut it into 3 sections here. One, and then another cut here. Command X, Command V. Bring it over here. L for the lasso tool, and let's make this cut right here. Alright, so we have our pieces here. I think I actually accidentally made a duplicate. There we go. So we have our pieces here. The next part is kind of position them a little bit. We want them kind of tilted, you know, as though they're floating in space. And you can rearrange them too, the layers. So I'll tilt that one that way. There we go. Okay. Now we can throw these into a folder, and you can name each one of these if you want. They should be fine. We won't need to really come back to these, I believe. So throw them into the folder, and you can name this bust cuts or whatever. And then below that, not on top of it, we need a new layer below it. Create your new layer there, and we're going to do each one of these on a new layer. And instead of purple, since I have purple as my background, I'm going to choose a light blue for this. And you're going to use your lasso tool, and each one of these are going to be on their own layer. So now we're going to create, you know, the bulk, the part of the sculpture behind that we can now see because it was cut into. And we're going to draw this with our lasso tool and fill it with blue. Don't do little areas. We're not making it little like this, right? Very thin. We're not doing that. Give it some depth. And think about it in terms of perspective, right? So in other words, it's not going to look, I'm not going to go out, it's not going to look like this, right? That's not correct perspective. Perspective means essentially, let me show you here. Let's use the color green, you can see. So we're using kind of 1-point perspective. Alright, so right there. So there is my 1-point perspective. And you guys don't have to do this. I'm just giving you the understanding of how I want to draw this. I want to draw my lines on each of these edges here to kind of go towards that. Not all the way towards it, but I'm kind of going in that direction. And then I'll draw the back part of it, and then like so. So that is, it's going towards the perspective part, right? Okay, and make it thick like so. And then fill it with your blue. Go ahead and delete that. Create a new layer for your next one. We'll do the middle part here. Create a new layer. Make sure you're creating a new layer for each one of these. It's important. And then our last one here. And then from here, you'll probably will need to rearrange these again. So what you will need to do is click on the little tab here for the bust cuts that we put all of our cuts into. And we need to link these flat colors, shapes we made, to the part of the bust that they're on. So here's my lower part, and I think that is this one. So click on one of those layers, hold your command button, click on the other one, and then come down here to your link chain icon here. And that'll link those two layers together. So now I can move them and they'll move together. So I'm going to move that one about right there. And I'll do the same thing for the middle part. I think Command T, I'm going to kind of shift move it about right there. There we go. And you know, I think I need to make another blue part for this part of the head as well. So I like the way everything else is. I'm gonna need to do this one as well. So no, one last blue part here. There we go. And now I'm gonna move this side part out. So that will be this one, that one, link them together. I'm gonna move it to the side, maybe up a little bit. Command T, like that. There we go. All right, and then take a look at your composition. Yeah, that looks good. All right, so that, and you can throw these now into a folder. All right, so you're going to continue working from here, but that is all for this video, just creating your cuts, linking them, creating your flat color shapes behind them, behind what you cut out, and rearranging your composition to work right. All right, next video we'll go into how to create the grooves.